Welcome to Poul's Kitchen. Today's video is brought to you for Kimberly Fahey, a lovely lady who's inspired me to think nothing about pizza for the last 2 weeks. So today we're going to make some personal pan pizza. I hope you guys enjoy this. Please hit the like, share, subscribe button. Take a good look at it. Hopefully it inspires you too. So please tune in and enjoy. Welcome to Poul's Kitchen. My name is Chef Paul, and with me is the ever-loving Chef Amy behind me. Say hi, Amy.
Hi.
Today we're going to do a special video, so before we begin, please hit the like, share, subscribe. Join us on www.pouls-kitchen.club. Hit us up on our Patreon page. Like I said, for the rest of the month, anything we get donated to us is going overseas to the Ukraine to help support a lot of the victims towards the war there. So today I'm going to dedicate this video to my good friend Kim and the rest of my class. We're going to be making, guess what? Homemade pizza. Now, of course, you guys probably realize by now I've been off work since probably September, August last year. It's been quite a while. My wife, being the amazing woman she is, has done everything under the sun to support me and get me to be better. And you know what? I'm going leaps and bounds here. I'm doing great, but that's all thanks to Amy. I just started a new job, and we got Kim as my new trainer. She's an amazing lady, one of the best trainers I've ever had. I rank her right up there with my good friend Kathleen. She's just a really awesome person, and Amy will sit there and tell you that this is true. I've been bugging about pizza for the last 2-3 weeks and trolling the class about it, and it's just a troll job, seriously. But it is what it is, and so today, in honor of Kim, I'm going to make some homemade pizza. And just to let you know that I'm not kidding around, look what Amy got me. Sardines. Now, before you guys start curling your nose up, oh, I don't want sardines, those are gross. They're actually really good for you. They're good in iron, they're good in minerals and vitamins, they're healthy. Sometimes we have to learn to suck it up and deal with it, because you know what, if it's good for you, do it. So we're going to start off by making our crust. This is 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. We got Fleischmann's Quick Rise yeast. Of course, I got my strength back, just not all of it. This is the muscle lady right here. I'm going to take a tablespoon, and I'm assuming this is a tablespoon. I'm not a baker, so if that's too much, I'll pay for it later. I don't care. Am I wrong?
No, I think that's right.
Ooh. So I got some Splenda here. You can use real sugar, stevia. I can't find the stevia right now, but Splenda will do all right. Do you need to have sugar in it? I don't really see why, but just for the sake that I'm not a baker and this is not my forte, I'm going to do it anyways. So I'm going to put 2 in there, and I know I usually say you don't really need salt. We've had this for years, so I'm just going to put a little bit in. That's it. That's all you need. You don't really need a whole lot. But you're baking, they say, precision is key on baking. It's not it's something you should play with. With the dry ingredients, we're just going to take something like this and just sift around to mix up the dry ingredients really good. That's pretty important. Give it a good mix around. Now, I would suggest doing this a little bit earlier because it's going to take an hour for this to rise. Once we're all said and done, you're going to need to give it time to rise, and that's the only way it's going to go. So I've got a half cup of warm water, not hot water, not cold water, warm water. It's been sitting out here for a little while, so this should be good by now. And yes, it is dirty, but it's flour. Yes, no need to waste. We're actually going to use a whole cup, but we're going to start off with half a cup just to mix this around a little bit before we start going crazy. So it doesn't take much. It's no use in me dirty or putting this in the sink and then taking a brand new one just for water that's going in flour, right? I like to tease and say, well, I'm leaving a big mess for Amy to clean up, and God knows she realizes she's still going to have quite a mess to clean up later. It is what it is, and she knows that. But I don't like leaving my wife to, excuse me there, baby. I don't like leaving my wife with a whole big mess to clean up, you know what I mean? So, I mean, if you're cleaning up, you're responsible for your own cleanup. If not, let's try to make things easy for those who actually do. It's both her days off, and we both want to enjoy it, and I'm sure Amy doesn't want to spend it doing dishes all day. Or maybe she does.
No.
I'm hearing yes, but I'll get told off for that later, I'm sure. I love my wife very much, and part of why we're doing this is, I want to kind of do something for Kim to end my little pizza joke, and I gotta give you, I'm used to walking in trainings, usually no more than 20 people. Usually by the first week you lose half of them anyways, because they realize what kind of job it is, and they realize it's not for them, and they usually end up leaving. We got 43 or 44 at the beginning, was it? Did I say? Something like that? It's a ridiculous high number. I don't really like this for this, because it's just not... It's good for a lot of things, just not for this. So I'm just going to use a fork for the rest of it here. But 44 people is quite a crazy amount. I don't understand why they're doing this to this poor lady. It seems a little bit much to me, but it is what it is. But for having 44 people, that's one, to me, that's one hell of a feat. You know what I mean? Having to be responsible for that many people. And I count as 10. Amy will tell you, I'm a handful as it is. I like to joke around, I like to have a good time, and that's just me. I've toned down quite a bit through the years. Healthy as she was, I'm not exactly as peppy as I used to be. And Kathleen, if you're around commenting a video, tell Kim about it, or Concentrics a little bit, and maybe Kim will get a little bit of fair warning. So I'm just going to take some flour and dust the bottom of this here. Why? Because it's important. I'm going to get your hands a little bit, the flour on there too, because that's going to make things a little bit easier for you. Flour is very sticky, and we're going to beat something up now. So this is a really good recipe to do when you're a little bit aggressive and you're not having a great day. Why? Because, well, you're going to beat on some dough. Amy likes doing it all the time. She thinks she's going to make a big apple pie, and then she'll just beat up on this for a little bit. Oh, Paul's been so nasty today.
No.
It is what it is. My wife and I like to pick on each other and carry on, and it's not like... please don't ever think that we ever really fight, because we don't. We'll have our little arguments that happen. Happen to the best of us, right? But what am I doing? That's going to go back. I know it doesn't. But, we have a pretty good relationship that way. I got really lucky in the training I had. Like I said, yes, it's 44, 43 people. I know people, but I don't really know everybody. But, we got an extremely great class. Everybody gets along for the most part. And it's pretty good. And our trainer is the most patient person I've ever had for a long time. Considering my advanced age of 47, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, and Amy's rolling her eyes at me right now, but it's the truth. I mean, when you're young, you can learn things, you can retain things a whole lot easier, but as you get older, I'm sure everybody will realize it gets difficult. You want to just continue beating on this, give it a good 5 minutes if you can, if you don't have enough ADD that you can, stand it. But the longer you beat on it, the better it's going to be, because it activates the gluten and stuff like that. Now, if you have a gluten allergy, there is gluten-free flour you can get to, so look that up. If you do use gluten-free, please don't follow my recipe for this. Look up your own online, because I'm going to tell you right now that with gluten-free recipes, they are different. Absolutely, they are going to be different. So, keep that in mind. But anyways, Kim has been very, very patient, and being the amazing trainer she is, I've held most of it, and I think that's pretty impressive for me. You just have to get to know me a little bit better, because I'm really not that easy to teach. And it's not because I don't put an effort in, I do. But I'm 47 years old, and, I go back and I stand by it too. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. So you just want to knead on this, and eventually you're gonna have it into a ball, and it's not going to be as sticky when it starts getting proper. And to be honest with you, and Amy, you'll probably agree with me too, this is by far the hardest part about making pizza. Mm-hmm. Now Amy's sitting here looking, it's like, when the heck is this going to look like a really good pizza pie? I'm anxious, I want to see a pizza pie. You better produce a pizza pie, Paul, or I'm going to smack you.
No, I'm thinking of apple pie now that you said that.
Of course you did. And my wife's a little jealous because she didn't get my trainer to train her. I have the best trainer in the world. And Kim, I hope you know that. What do you think, Amy?
It looks good.
What have I told you about Kim all week?
That she's good.
And I gotta tell you too, after being off work for this long, it's really hard to decide to wake up in the morning and, want to go to work. It's hard. It really is. I prefer working a little bit later, not so early in the morning, but they have us starting at 9 o'clock, and I'm just like, you can't be serious. Why is it legal for somebody to have to go to work for 9 in the morning? That just seems wrong. It's hard, right? But Kim has made it so easy, it's not even funny. Most patient person. So Kim, this is for you. I can't wait for you to see the final product. Amy, get another scan on the sardines there, please. So you excited to try those?
No.
What do you mean no? Sardines are good. So when you're doing this, please take your time. Don't be in a rush. You really want this, and this is pretty much done now. It's not as sticky as it was. It's not as hard to handle. I'm going to grab another bowl here because that one's a little bit too dirty. I'm going to stick this in here. I've got a tea towel I'm just going to cover that with, and that's going to be there for no less than an hour. You might want to put a little bit more in, and maybe I should have greased it, but I think that should still be fine.
No, that's good.
Yeah, but no more than and no less than an hour, and I probably wouldn't go any longer than 2 hours. Once that's done and we're ready to proceed, we'll be back. Welcome back. So our loaf is kind of all expanded there. It's double size, so don't know we're going to need this much of it, because we probably don't. I'm just going to take a knife, which, it's not the proper knife for this. There actually is a bread thing that you can use to cut the actual thing there, because we don't need this much. So our landlord hasn't really explained the oven quite a bit, and Amy and I are both a little confused by it, so we're not using our actual real oven. We don't like it, so we're not going to use it. It's a little bit of a weird one, and that's perfectly fine. So we're going to use our toaster oven. Now, if you have a air fryer, you can actually do it in an air fryer too, believe it or not. One of our really good friends actually tried it out in there. Didn't really produce a really large pizza or anything, by any means, it really didn't, but, you know, you're thinking of terms of, like, personal pizza, you know what, that, you know, would do quite well. So, we're only making one pizza, or actually we're making two. So what you want to do at this stage is preheat your oven to as hot as you can get it. A regular oven, you know, what do you think, Amy, 450?
No, I don't know.
I think 450. Now, doing this is going to really be a real pain in the butt because, well, guess what? It's sticky. But Amy and I, we both know that sticky can be really good sometimes. You can buy like pizza dough that's already made, and that's usually not too big of a deal. So what you want to do on this is make sure you grease the bottom of the pan, because otherwise, once it's done baking, it's going to be a little bit of a pain for you to get it out. And believe me, you go to cut it, and then you just can't quite scrape the bottom off. It's annoying. Because then, you know, part of your crust is on the bottom of the pan, because ideally you'd just like to be able just to, you know, get it off and start eating. Because I know the way Amy is. As soon as this gets out of the oven, Amy's mouth starts salivating and she just wants her pizza. And to be honest with you, I can't say I blame her either. Because I kind of feel the same way. And sometimes you're making pizza is actually a whole lot better than going out in the store and buying it. You know, most people have flour laying around. You can buy flour, a big bag of it, stick it somewhere. Like seriously, just stick it somewhere, and then you have it for future use. Like you don't have to worry about. We're gonna come over here, and I got the next one here. You can use it for so many things, so it's not like you're bound to, you know, use that one thing, and that's the only thing you're gonna use it for. So I mean, buying a thing of flour, you can get it pretty cheap. It's really not that expensive. It's only a couple dollars. If you want to make pizza sauce, I mean, it's not that hard either. It's just some tomatoes or tomato paste and crushed tomatoes, and you can cook it, onions and garlic, stuff like that. Put your spices in. It's really not that expensive at all. Really, it isn't. One of the really hard things about not having a car is we rely on services like Instacart. I had ordered stuff to make this all, and I got the wrong stuff, and I didn't get my actual pizza stuff to make the pizza sauce that I wanted. I actually got pizza sauce. Now, why, I don't know. I also got some chocolate bars too, and we don't eat chocolate because we're diabetics, so I don't know why we got that. But, oh well, kind of can't help but think that maybe somebody else got my pizza stuff and I got their chocolate. But that's alright, Amy and I will enjoy the chocolate eventually. When we have a really bad sugar day. Nothing wrong with that sometimes. So, like I said, I've got this traditional pizza sauce. Not necessarily the greatest stuff in the world, I'm sure. It is what it is, but could be a lot worse. I'd rather make my own. I know Amy really likes it when I do that, but I think she can forgive me for this for one time. I hope.
Yeah.
So we're going to pour that over here. Going to make sure we have this spread enough. You know what I mean? We want to have enough sauce. Now, if you're actually using a pizza pan, you can do a few little tricks to try to, you know, make your crust proper, right? I'm not a big sucker for a big crust. We're diabetic, and this isn't something we can eat a whole lot. because this is all going to turn into carb. This is all carbs that turns into sugar. So, Amy, what does that mean?
Sugar high.
So, we don't want that. Now, the tomato, anything tomato, where technically tomato is a fruit, not a vegetable, it also has its own sugars in it too. So this is some of the reason that if you're diabetic, you might want to think about calming down on eating pizza all the time. It's not really good for you, but as a treat every now and again, it is good. So, I mean, the most expensive thing on your pizza is really your cheese. If you can get a good deal on it, then, hey, take the deal. It's really not that bad. So you see how it's nice and covered there. Now, generally speaking, I am not a fan of, and I've said this before, don't buy this. I ordered a block of cheese and I got this instead.
Oh, we have a block.
Yeah, but I gotta use this for something. I'm not gonna throw it away. It's not terrible or anything like that. It's not bad for you or anything like that. It's just if you bought the block instead of the one that's pre-shredded, you're probably going to get more cheese out of the block. They got to make their money up somehow. So it's not the worst thing in the world. Instacart is a great service, and please don't take me saying that they're not. They're actually really good. My only real issue with them is sometimes they do mess things up a little bit. Now, some people are going to sit and say, and Amy's one of these people by all means, that you can throw all the cheese on the pizza and all the better. That's not true. If you put too much cheese on your pizza, it's going to become greasy. It just won't taste good. Sometimes people think, that doesn't make any sense, but trust me, if you over cheese, it will go crazy. It'll become really greasy. This is nacho cheese blend. Yeah. Amy's dog, she likes weird things, so it should be alright. I mean, honestly, if you wanted to make cheap garlic fingers, you could probably just make this and then make a nice little garlic spread and it'd be really good. Now, I say not to over cheese it, but you really do want to have enough cheese. I don't know, Amy, what do you think about a pizza without cheese?
It wouldn't be good.
This is a lunchtime snack, not a meal, so you know what I mean? By the way, Kim, when I was talking about putting sardines in there, Amy and I, when I say Amy and I mean Amy, decided that we're not using them on the pizza. I lost the fight. So here we got some pepperoni. If you live in Dartmouth, there's a place called Gateway. And you can get Chris Brothers pepperoni there fairly cheap, and it's really good too. So, before you go and buy something like this, go to Gateway. We don't have a car, so. And Instacart don't work with them.
Or Costco, you can get a huge thing.
Yes, Costco as well. Now, Kim, I know that you're probably going to be watching this Monday after work. Or, while we're taking calls and you're sitting around doing nothing. Probably not going to happen, but who knows. And I hope when you see this that you really like this. Now be careful when you get this. Don't just start duping, because you can't eat that.
No.
And I know what Amy's thinking. I'm hungry and I don't care what you say. I'll eat anything at this point. And she shakes her head no, but her mouth says otherwise.
He just bugging.
What I do best. With making pizza, you want to make sure your oven's on as hot as you can get it, because most of us don't have a pizza stone and don't have a full-blown pizza oven, because why would we have that? That's, would take up a lot of room. Amy would have one if she could. Just saying. She'd trade the bed in for it. And that's our oven done being preheated. I'm going to leave the rest of these out there and eat this as a snack in a few minutes when we're cooking, because why? There's not much left to do anything else with. Alright, so got some mushrooms we're going to put on here. Gotta have some veggies.
Yes.
Amy tried to tell me she wants chocolate bars melted on hers.
No!
I said no. So Dad, I am taking care of your daughter.
That would be disgusting. I don't want chocolate on my pizza.
Tell me you want it all the time.
No.
When you cut these up here, and you're obviously going to have more than you actually need, put these in Tupperware and use them for something else. They do go bad, yes, but but they're not like you can't use them for something else after. This is a lot of mushrooms, and the pizzas really aren't that big. Now, if you're doing a real pizza, by all means, you can stretch this out a little bit better, be perfectly fine. When you're cooking it only takes about 15-20 minutes. Doesn't take much. So, it's not a whole lot here, but you know what? Tomorrow morning Amy might want some omelets for breakfast, so she can use it for that. Then we got some onions. We've got to be a little careful because we don't really want to have an onion pizza.
No.
Some onion's good though. Sprinkle it over. If you want to put some spices over it, you can do that. I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest with you, but definitely don't put any more salt in though. Please don't do that. Don't eat it.
No, the sauce probably has enough by itself.
Even if you're making it yourself and it's your own, you really don't need it. Now, another thing you're going to want too is you're going to want to have some racks set out, because having racks for this to cool is going to be important, because if you don't, you're gonna burn something. So don't do that. And this is some pineapple.
A pizza and pineapple is
That's right.
good.
Now, I don't want to lose any viewers over the idea of putting pineapple in pizza. We like it. I understand some people don't. It is a very Canadian thing. It was invented in Canada. Somewhere in Calgary, I do believe. Normally I would get chunks, but whatever. So, get a pretty good idea what the pizza looks like, and that's going to be good. Be careful not to get the juices all in. It's going to be wet enough, but you want to control how much moisture from the pineapple juice is going in.
Yeah, you could always drain it if you really wanted to.
You could, if you're getting pineapple chunks, definitely do this, but this is not the pineapple I asked for. So, it's going to spread the top like it's going to be a little bit of a small crust. Pineapple is really good, so So when you put this in your oven, pay attention. Just don't set it in there. I'm going to say put it in for 15 to 20 minutes. It may only take you 15 minutes. It may take you 20. It may actually take 25. You don't know until it's all ready to go. So pay attention. You also don't want to leave things burning. So I'm going to put this in here. Amy's going to clean up. And we'll be back in about 15-20 minutes when one of them is all done, and we'll be good to go. Welcome to Poul's Kitchen. Welcome back. Before we go any further, please hit the like, share, subscribe button. Tell all your buddies. We do have a Facebook group. Join us on IRC. And again, go to www.pouls-kitchen.club. Join our Discord. Remember, everything we make on this over the next until the end of the month is going towards our friends in the Ukraine to help their suffering. So here we go. This is our final product. Now, Amy wanted to put liver on this. Gosh only knows why, but she is Dutch, so I mean, this is the way she is. I can't tell you why. But it came out. I mean, you can, if you want your crust a little bit crisper, you can certainly do that. We might have put a little bit too much oil in. I didn't think I did, but you know, juicy content. So it's going to be a little wet. Not perfect, but you're looking for a nice pan size. You know, this is going to be more than enough for Amy and I had to have, you know, one meal out of both, out of this whole thing here. And we still have another one in the oven because, you know, why waste, right? So this is a beautiful pizza. I'm looking forward to it. What about you, Amy?
Yes, looks really good. I definitely want it.
So, like I said, it's your pizza. If you want to put a little bit more spice on it, by all means, Amy will probably dump some hot sauce over it. She probably will, you know, Amy, that's just the way she rolls. And yeah, so what do you think, Amy?
It's really good.
So from Amy and I on Poul's Kitchen, Kim, I hope you're watching this. I hope this makes you a little hungry. Maybe this might even inspire something for Friday. Who knows? So, and I didn't say anything about pizza. So, anyways, and I'll give this back to Amy because I want to tell a really quick story. And I meant to say this earlier, but I didn't. Another job, now they were stupid in the way that they would rotate supervisors. We'd have our manager, then we'd have our supervisors and us. And the supervisor would be there for like 6 months and then they'd leave and we get another one. Because you get used to one person who knows the job, and we were special, so we weren't like normal customer service, so we were a little different. So it took about 5 months to train them to do our job anyways. And then they'd have a month of being a supervisor and they're gone, right? So this new guy comes in, we tell him about Cheesecake Thursday, which is full of garbage, but we had him conned into it, and every Thursday he went and got us all cheesecake. So every job I go to now, I try to see how well that works out. Usually it doesn't, but you can try anything once. So anyways, please, if you have any comments, please like, share, subscribe, but let me know what you think. See you later, guys.